Hey everybody, Shadowcall Maximus here, coming at you with another video review, and this time it is of the Dark Knight Collector's Pack. Now, the Collector's Pack contains 4 figures, which you can see here. And here is the box, a very basic type of box. It is a Woolworths exclusive here in the UK, priced at $14.99. Dropped from, well, it was apparently $29.99. $29.99 for this set is a little bit of a rip-off, considering that you can buy these figures separate with their accessories at $30 altogether. So $14.99. These 4 figures without their accessories is a good price, especially if you're a collector. And the box art here is pretty generic. We've got the figures here at the back. We've got all the other figures here as well. Basically generic packaging, but actually it's a nice box, and it's definitely something worth for display value. I mean, for putting these figures in. But anyway, let's have a look at the toys. Now, the characters in this set are the Scarecrow. We have Batman wearing his Dark Knight suit. We also have him wearing his Batman Begins suit. And we also have the Joker. Now, this Joker I prefer a lot more better than the Destructo case Joker that comes at retail, or it's sold separately at retail. I don't know why I despise this figure because of its colour, but to me it looks more Riddler colour than it does actually Joker colour. So I suppose if you actually pulled this head off and actually sculpted a Riddler head, it would actually make a quite nice little modification to this figure, and it would actually match him more. But this figure here, the Joker, is actually more pleasing to the eye. He's got a good amount of articulation. You've got arm articulation here, got some nice greeny yellow hair, white face and black eyes, as well as the red mouth makeup. It's just such a nice colour scheme, a lot more better than the green colour scheme, and it's a lot more pleasing to the eye than this. I mean, if you look at this in person, this looks pink, and it really sort of wades to more like the Riddler than it does the Joker, in my opinion. But moving on to another villain, which is the Scarecrow. Now, the Scarecrow here has 2 faces. This one being the sack mask, and then we have a gimmick here which you can trigger by lifting the arm up. It twists the head around, and it creates this ghoulish freakishness mask, which is actually very, very well detailed. Especially the light piping. I don't know whether you can see this here, but it does have light piping. It has some nice detail here on the front here with all the little canisters here. Articulation, it doesn't really have a lot, considering of the rubberized plastic. It does have knee articulation, but it has very poor movement due to this rubbery coat, as it were. But I mean, he is a nice display figure. He has a nice gimmick. Fair amount of articulation, but it's not really anything to get excited about. Now, if he can just stand up here for a second, I'll move on to the Dark Knight suit Batman. Now, of course, you've seen this Batman before if you haven't watched my past review of the Staff Strike Batman. This is the same figure. You can see the detail in his bat suit here. Got some armour here, armoured plating. Good posability. Arms don't really move 360 because of his armour, but he does have some nice articulation, and I definitely do like this figure. I especially like the cape, which doesn't really have this cutting in effect. It more like has a just curved at the bottom, which is actually really nice. Very nice figure indeed. Then lastly of all in this set, we have the Batman Begins suit. Now this figure, I must say, has got to be my favourite in this collector's edition pack. It has some good articulation, rotates 360 degrees at the arms, bends at the elbow, leg articulation, waist articulation. Of course these do all have waist articulation. Although the Joker's waist seems to be stuck, I don't know why, possibly they glued it together. But he does have a nice head sculpt here, a lot more better than this head in my opinion. This just looks a little bit too off proportion, and this really looks in proportion, if you know what I'm talking about. In person, these figures look sensational, but he does have a remarkable amount of detail. These figures, considering they're only basic figures and not movie masters, do actually have their good points. Now, the one thing I'll have to say about this Scarecrow toy here is he doesn't have the ice cream scoop hands, if you know what I mean. And in my view, this is possibly one of the better Scarecrow figures, just for his arm articulation actually. But most of the Scarecrow figures don't really have a lot of articulation in their legs because of this coat. That's just one thing to point out. But overall, I really enjoy this set. It's definitely a must-buy at the price of $14.99. The box is a beautiful display piece as long as you take the price tags off it. As you can see here, it goes in the order of Joker and the Dark Knight toys here. Then it goes into the Batman Begins things here. It's just a nice thing, especially for display. And considering they don't have their accessories, it's actually a nice thing to have. And you're not bothered about, you know, fiddling with accessories and so on. But overall, I give the set a good 8 out of 10. Individually, I would give the Joker a good 8 out of 10. His colour scheme does actually make it more pleasing to the eye, a lot more better than the Destructo case Joker. This Batman, 9 out of 10. Definitely very, very detailed. The Scarecrow, I'm going to have to give a 7.5 out of 10. Articulation lets it down a little bit. But this Batman here, I'm going to have to give it a 10 out of 10. It is definitely very, very well proportioned, and it definitely has a nice effect. There are big differences between the suits, and I really do enjoy this set. So anyway, this is Shadow Cole Maximus signing off. Please don't forget to leave a comment here in the bottom, as well as please click that subscribe button. So anyway, this is Shadowcon Maximus saying see you guys later.